Lalo na ngayon election, media is being used to basically promote candidates, no? Depende sa bayad. Instead of knowing the truth, no, they are actually using the media to promote them.
Like during the election, it's like I found it so stupid how people were ending friendships over political affinities.
A lot of people are lazy. They don't want to look at evidence. They don't want to look at books, read.
Some people are saying na, well, the cancer machine industry is really just controlling treatments and focusing on chemotherapy because that's the way that they make money.
We'll discuss about citizen journalism versus the mainstream media. Right now, have you seen what's happening in the United States? It is affecting our country because apparently they are funding a lot of media outlets across the globe, including our media, in order to propagate or propagandize a lot of information or their social policies, impose their social policies to countries like us. I want to show you something. Let's react to it. This one I just found recently, this morning. This information that was discovered by the Department of Government Efficiency headed by Elon Musk. For those who don't know, President Donald Trump created a new agency, Department of Government Efficiency, to look after fraud, abuse, and waste in the bureaucracy of the United States. As they do it, not only waste but corruption. And nakita nila itong usaspending.gov. Since our topic today is the mainstream media versus the citizens media, we want to discuss this. Look at this one. It's shocking, Patrick. Tignan mo. Reuters is a huge international media company. Department of Social Defense is the awarding agency. The recipient is the Thomson Reuters Special Services. They have special services pala. And if you will look below, the description says, active social engineering defense. Meron palang ganun. Large-scale social deception. That is actually the description. Large-scale social deception. This is 2018 to 2022 po ito.
Yeah, I guess bottom line is, no, I've been reading yung Sapiens, the book. One of the things it really talks about is the power of story and how whoever controls the narrative really controls the masses, diba? And I mean, this is just a good example of that. I mean, leaders who are using resources, power, authority to shift the narrative so that they can have control. It's scary to think about, and I mean, it's crazy to think how mainstream media is a partner in that. They're a platform for information. Pero question sometimes we have to ask is, wait a minute, who's telling the narrative? Who's telling the story? If you think about it that way, no, na parang it really does create some question marks. Which, to be honest, though, I've always had question marks in my head naman. Because, I mean, if you're a critical thinker, you won't just read news and say, well, this is the truth. You have to ask questions. But sad reality is, that's not everyone. And so I wonder what those social deceptions, what those campaigns they launched were. I mean, could be very interesting to see how that might unfold, and we'll start to see what kind of narratives they wanted to control.
Alam mo, this won't be possible, Patrick, if we don't have social media. Before, nung wala pang internet, we just watch the televisions. We just watch news sa local channels natin, and everything they say, we accept it hook, line, and sinker. Ganun ako lumaki sa probinsya. When I watch, for example, ABS-CBN, GMA News, kung ano sabihin nila, yun na yun eh. They can select information, they can select what news they want to show, and that's it. We don't know what's really important. We don't know what's really are the things that really affects us as a country or as a person. Hindi natin makikita yun eh. And they just discovered in the United States that USAID, no, United States Agency for International Development, actually the USAID is a misnomer. Yung AID, akala natin it's just aid, like financial aid to a country. It's not really aid. USAID is not about aiding other countries. It's a generic international development, and it's being used for regime change. that was discovered, and there are papers and evidence about them. No, nakita natin, isa yun sa mga evidence ng mga, although it's DOD, later I'll show a USAID paper trail. USAID financing of media around the world, nearly 5,000 media outlets, including media in the Philippines. So apektado dito yung mga media natin, no? Actually, yung mga fact checkers ng Facebook ang apektado dito because they are funded by USAID and National Endowment of Democracy. Meron pang isa na sabi ni Elon Musk, the head of the OGE, Department of Government Efficiency, is a scam. USAID's funding of Internews, international news, uses broadcast media as a lever to effect social and political transformation. I checked this out. No? In other words, propaganda. So you ever wonder why the media sounds like an echo chamber sometimes? Di ba, Patrick? Sometimes you see
Yeah.
that pare-pareho yung mga sinasabi ng mga channels or ng mga news agencies.
That's the reason why critical thinking should really how I wish that more people had critical thinking. But it's a sad reality that we face today where it's bottom line no, is I don't know, like for the majority of people, we just look to media and say, oh, this is truth. Oh, this is truth. And I think it's also because we're the way that we were raised religiously. When you question like truth, like religious truth, right? You're labeled as a someone who
Obedient.
is yeah, I mean you're heretic, no? You can't raise questions.
Mm.
And I just think that's wrong because the only way to come to understand what the truth is if you question it. We're so quick to like label that as, oh, you're just causing trouble, you're you're gonna rock the boat, and we don't want that. But
Yeah.
that's the only way. That's the only way that you can really look at what data is available and come up with an individual conclusion that you can put your full confidence in. I mean, imagine na lang, no? Like, I guess, like, because that was probably, I saw COVID-19 mentioned there, no? Like, during that time, there were so many debates. And the debates were always very totalitarian. It was either anti-vaccine or pro-vaccine. It was always,
Exactly.
yeah, did it start in China? Was it made in a lab? It's like, no one ever had like the tendency, like, no one ever took the time to listen to the other parties, like actual defense and come up with, a conclusion that we can really say is truth. And so, yeah, I mean, like a few years ago, like when I saw that, like one of the biggest things that I really advocated for was having like civil discourse with people who might disagree with you. And like even in the Philippines, like we're coming up to an election, we're gonna see the complete opposite of that. No civil discourse whatsoever, confirmation bias left and right, and it's such a dangerous thing for society, to be honest. And then you add this, no, where there's mainstream media trying to control the narrative. We're never gonna know what the truth is.
Yes, I agree with that, Patrick. Lalo na ngayon election, media is being used to basically promote candidates, no,
Yeah.
depende sa bayad. No, instead of knowing the truth, no, they are actually using the media to promote them.
Mm-hmm.
So tama ka, no? I agree with the critical thinking and non-conformist attitude. You always need to check. You cannot accept hook, line, and sinker nga, sabi.
Right.
Yung mga information na binibigay ng media sa'yo, you need to do research. Buti na lang you mentioned it, no? The schools that trained us to be obedient. No? The institutional role of schools, for the most part, is just to really train people to become obedient and conformist, no, and to make them controllable and indoctrinated. Yan ang nangyayari sa public schools natin. That is what I was thinking. Nahirapan din ako before when I was younger, how to think critically kasi they will feed you with information, and it's so easy to just accept it instead of thinking, tama ba to or hindi. I think you have kids, it's important for parents to train their children to always ask questions,
Yeah. Yeah.
diba? Think critically.
Right. And it's kind of hard to do that when we are part of a culture where the person who is ahead of you in terms of, stature or position, you can't question their authority. I remember like
Yeah.
I got into a lot
It's
of
part of the
trouble.
culture, eh, sinasabi mo.
Correct. Yeah, I got into a lot of trouble in college because of that. So like every time like, you ask a question to a professor or a teacher. Sorry, not every time naman, but like sometimes when you ask them a question and they don't know the answer, they kind of just pull the I'm the teacher, you're just a student card versus like, 'di ba? I mean, those kinds of opportunities can be a great time to insert and say that that's good that you raised that and it's good that you're asking those kinds of questions. I mean, if
Mhm.
educational institutions would actually allow students to kind of like go down the rabbit hole. I'm not saying you'll always be right, but at least you're being trained to ask the right questions.
Yes, I agree. During the time kasi when we were studying, we are very afraid of getting a failing grade. Eh. No, kasi when you grades is about you need to conform what are the instructions given. You need to
Mm,
study this. That's it. You need to memorize it. You are not graded for critical thinking. You are not trained to do that in public schools, especially in here in our country. But in other schools naman, they train you how to think creatively, to question things. Pero in general, hindi po ito hindi ito ang ginagawa sa mga eskwelahan. That's why it's important for us to be able to combat this kind of control by the media
yeah.
is to train ourselves and our children to think critically and to be really non-conformist. No, we can be obedient. No, it's a good trait, but sabi nga nila, you need to trust before you obey. You need to verify, trust and verify. Sabi niya, you need to trust your parents, but you need to check, tama ba yung sinabi nila? Tama ba yung sinabi ng teacher ko? Tama ba yung sinabi ng nakakatanda? Lalo na ngayon, may internet na. You can
Yeah.
just check everything.
So what's the number one exam type na ayaw ng both teachers and students? Essays.
Exam type, essays. Correct. Kasi babasahin mo eh. You will
Yes.
see the ideas
Yeah, but the
of the
thing
student.
is, that's always like only 10% of the quiz and normally nasa dulo na. Pero yung nga, like, think about topics like history or kahit pa nga science and literature. It's the perfect time for you to kind of express yourself and think to yourself, wait a minute, o nga no, ito yung nangyari sa history. How do I interpret that? Again, I'm not saying that you're gonna expect the students to get it right. It has to start somewhere. Eh. Bottom line, I think like the biggest exercise lang talaga with something like like having more essay driven uh activities in school is you just really train the students brains to kind of process what's going on because it's so hard for them to process it. Like one thing when I talk to my eldest because she's at an age now that she can kind of understand already what's going on in the world. I really like during our
Mm.
drives to school, but I really throw hard questions at her. And I will talk to her and say, like what do you think about this situation? And I'm surprised at the answers that she gives. It's actually very very deep. Like kahit ako hindi ko naisip na
Mm.
pwede no, pwede palang ganun. Like there was one time I was asking her about because she transferred kasi from homeschool to like uh regular conventional school. So I was asking her like what are the pros and cons of now being in regular school and letting go of the homeschool environment na you're at home, you can control your schedule. And she said, well, one of the pros there, of course, is I have classmates, I have friends. But the con, one of the disadvantages is I don't have the freedom of time anymore to choose how I will fix my schedule. And I was like thinking, grabe, 12 years old. Ganun pala yung ano no, yung kahit 12 years old, ganun na yung naisip. Pero hindi eh, kasi we always tell them, no, it's better for you to go to school at 8 o'clock, and then 5 o'clock, and then kailangan mo mag-homework. Yun nga, it's conformist eh. You just want them to fit a mold. But maybe it's about time that we started to train the next generation to figure out what the mold is for themselves. And then from there, come up with their own conclusion of what's right and what's wrong.
It starts at home because
Mhm.
once you release your children outside of the house, someone will teach them other things. So sabi mo nga sa akin dati, you always, train, or maybe yung sabi mo, you allow your children to think. You just give them the love. Parang nagtataka ka nga bakit ganun sila mag-isip. Because I think you gave them the freedom to think. No, you gave them the freedom to discover the world by themselves. It's like what the society right now with the mainstream media controls what they want us to think. Doon nagkakaroon ng ng conflict yung tao eh. That
Mhm.
is where they can attack the weakness of a person. Lalo na a lot of people are lazy. They don't want to look at evidence. They don't want to look at books, reads. Madalang lang yung mga taong nagre-research at nagbabasa ng maraming journals or books just to verify things. So when you say something to them, just like the mainstream media or the public school, they will say, okay, ganun pala. And then, if it is aligned with what they believe in, that's it. Even if what they believe in is not correct, since nagkakaroon ng cognitive alignment, walang dissonance, tama yun. Kunyari,
Yeah.
sasabihin nila, itong taong ito mabuti, and you thought that person also is mabuti or mabait, tapos in reality, hindi, you will still align with that falsehood.
Yeah, imagine the
Mm.
trauma of what will happen to the child when they find out that this worldview that they thought was right all the while was wrong.
Oh, yes. It's not only them, Patrick. Ikaw, have you discovered a lot of things
Oh
na
yeah.
hindi totoo?
I grew up in a very non-conventional home, no. My parents taught me how to think. That's probably one of the things I'm most grateful for. Kasi, yun nga, like my favorite part of exams were essays. Kasi ganun yung pagka-train sa akin ng mom ko eh. It's like ask questions, don't think that your teacher is the expert. You always have to make sure that ano. And but then, still there were things na o nga pala no, hindi pala ganun. Kala ko ganun yung buhay. And then, especially when it comes to hard life lessons, you'll have to make decisions about later on whether you should move your family to a different city or not, which we did. And, you start to see the negative
Mm.
impacts of that. Yeah, I mean, if you don't allow them to freely tell you, okay, hindi pala to pwede, or hindi pala to tama, then it's really just gonna create more pain in the future. And I think that's kasi what's the reason why we avoid, confrontation of truth? It's because we don't want to get hurt, or we don't want people around us to get hurt. I don't know, like for example, if this is the path we'll choose, this is the faith we'll be part of, this will be the religion we're part of. You do that to protect naman eh. You're protecting your kids, you're protecting your community, your tribe. But when you don't give
Mhm.
them the freedom to, and you don't allow them to kind of like question the parameters you've put around, and then later on they find out that, oh wait a minute, yeah, this isn't true, it's just going to stain their view of reality. And who are they going to blame? They're going to blame the person who made them think like this is the exact truth and you should just take it as it is. And that's what's happening with the media now. Why is it that they're getting the brunt of this? Because it is their fault. And so now we've lost trust over mainstream media because, they didn't allow people to come up with their own conclusion over certain things and certain issues.
Yes, and they censor things. They censor information instead of allowing it. That's why it's very important what they're doing. What's they're doing right now in X.com, formerly Twitter, where they do community notes instead
Mm.
of censoring misleading or false information, because people will know. You will see just in the comment section. They will what do you call this, provide counter evidence or counter links that can
Yeah.
negate what was said, as opposed to fact checking. Kasi fact checking is really a tyranny of the few. 'Di ba? If you will allow fact checking, you will assign people to fact check. they will most probably abuse it and promote their own agenda. The difference is community notes, no, just like what they're doing in X. I'm not sure if Facebook is already doing it, but sabi ni Mark Zuckerberg dati
Yeah,
na
yeah.
they
They
will
will.
not allow
Yeah.
fact checking anymore. They
Mm-hmm.
they they fired 40,000 fact checkers. The
Yeah.
difference is community notes is about allowing. Fact checking is about controlling.
Mm-hmm.
'Di ba? You control kung ano lalabas na information. And nakita nila sa Facebook, sabi ni Mark Zuckerberg, mas marami yung opposing views lang, hindi misleading information, hindi false information. These are just opposing views about a certain subject or a topic na sinisensor mo. So there's only an echo chamber na nangyayari. Just like what's happening in Facebook right now. Now, I think hindi pa nagtitrickle down. Hindi pa solid ang community notes natin kasi may nagsisensor pa sa loob ng Facebook That's why I don't really interact with people in Facebook. I provide my opinions and I provide comments on X kasi mas freer yung platform. Because there's still control inside. There are
Yeah.
just a few elites, na sinasabi mo, quote-unquote elites,
Yeah.
that control the information.
There's this new show on Netflix, Apple Cider Vinegar. Did you hear about that? Yung Apple Cider Vinegar, it's about health influencers who are going against, chemotherapy, surgery. They're going for natural processes. And
Mm.
that's an interesting, field in, because some people are saying na, well, the cancer machine industry is really just controlling treatments and focusing on chemotherapy because that's the way that they make money. And then, of course, that's what the alternative people are saying. And then
Mhm.
the medical field is attacking the natural community because there's no research, there's no basis. They're just, even if you watch like the Netflix documentary, you can tell that there's a bias towards the medical. But I think, like, just looking at that, no, like, yung censorship na nangyayari over topics like that, versus, wait a minute,
Mhm.
why don't we actually have a real conversation about what is the best course of action so that we can actually save lives, versus just trying to prove who's right and who's wrong. I feel like the whole narrative of finding the truth is just about proving who's the bigger, more dominant school of thought. And I honestly think it's very immature, and
Yeah.
it's petty, like, at best.
Dangerous.
And it's very dangerous because it's like, wait a minute, are we really looking for the truth, or are we just looking for another sliver of evidence that you can twist to make it look like you're right and then they're wrong? So, like, I'm not a fan of debating because yung debates, para it's just right versus left, natural versus conventional. Hindi like, why can't we just leave aside all our labels and figure out, okay, is this right? Maybe it's not, maybe it is. What does the evidence have to say? This is what I believe, but I'm just putting it out on the table because I could be wrong. Alam mo yun, para
Mhm.
I can only think of like a handful of people that I know in my circle that you can do that. Kasi, like, the far majority of
Mm.
people are really looking for a fight. And it's just like, oh, pareho ba tayo ng belief? O sige, magkasama tayo dito. Anong party list yung isusupport mo sa election? O sige, magkasama tayo dito. O ikaw, ibang party list ka, dun ka, we're not even, like, even like during the election, it's like, I found it so, so stupid how people were ending friendships over political affinities. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like, it's the perfect way for you to
Yeah.
just brainwash yourself.
It's the tribalistic mentality, no? We are still in the parang survival mode. During this modern world, we can actually survive on our own because there's a lot of things that we can do independently without conforming to the masses. No, marami, no, hindi na tulad dati na thousands of years ago na kailangan talaga natin yung support ng group. And
Yeah.
going back, no, to the information control and propaganda, we always need to follow the money. Di ba nga, before I said that sabi nila you need to eat 3 times a day with snacks, no, in order for you to be strong and healthy. And what I discovered, what I studied, and what I've experienced, that one meal a day is enough already for you to survive. No, kasi I studied fasting, no, which is not published in any media or in any medical book. You just need to delve into different what do you call this, different medical journals. You need to research for it, eh. Hindi pinapalabas sa media, hindi dinidiscuss ng media the benefits and health benefits and longevity benefits ng fasting. So I was able to discover by just researching about it that basically fundamentally fasting triggers what they call autophagy, that recycles and restores damaged cells, and it results to you having a healthy and long life. That's what I feel, and that's what the medical journals say. Ito hindi dinidiscuss ito sa mga hospitals. It's not prescribed by doctors because again hindi sila kikita sa fasting, eh. Kasi ang
Mhm.
fasting is really not eating for a period of time or not eating often. So it's not conducive for their business. It's not conducive for their current beliefs. And another thing, they're not aware about it because it's not shown or it's not discussed in school, in media, in educational institutions.
I feel the same way about grounding. Are you familiar with the idea of grounding? Grounding is essentially like touching like the actual ground. Di yung cement or tiles, but like
Mm-hmm.
really going like on bare soil. Ganon din, like scientific studies now that shows that grounding is actually good for healing your cells. Uh, Even there are some studies that showed that mas mabilis mag-heal yung ano yung mga sugat mo if you're like if you do grounding. So like for me, for example, like one thing I did one time kasi nabasa ko rin na if you have like a migraine or headache, try grounding for 15 minutes and then see if it helps. I don't know if it's
Grounding.
I don't know if it was like a placebo effect or anything. Pero it worked actually. It worked. Parang and like when I was reading the papers about
You
it,
just need to touch the ground.
yeah, because the essence of the science behind it is that the ground has like a magnetic like the gravity. It has to be basta it has to be like bare soil. It has to be soil that's like attached to like the
Hindi
actual
semento.
ground.
Oo,
Hindi
okay.
semento, hindi siya soil sa taas ng skyscraper. It really
Try
has
ko
to
nga
be like
yun.
the actual floor. So there's some research
Mm.
behind it that, saying that the gravity has like a magnetic field that kind of kasi that's how we were for such a long time. Our ancestors did not have shoes. They
Yeah.
did not have like physical homes. They were in 'di ba? And so that's how our bodies like our biology is that's how that's what we're used to basically. We're used to being barefoot in like actual like ground without a second floor, without tiles, without road concrete. Yun nga, I'm like even I mean medical a lot of medical institutions don't even want to touch it because it sounds like cuckoo to them. What would actually happen
Yeah.
if we just, you know, just took the time to listen and consider if it's, you know, if the science is
Research.
sound. Yeah, exactly. Research, 'di ba? If it's sound, then it's sound, you know, and you give people the option. You can try this if you want. On top of everything else you're trying. But not say, "Oh, that's, you know, that's complete garbage. Just stick with the medical, you know, the conventional medicine." That's the only way for you to get rid of your headache is just drink Biogesic. By the way, we're not sponsored by
Ayun.
Biogesic.
Hindi, you're correct, Patrick. That is why critical thinking and non-conformist attitude is very important, and we need to teach the next generation and even our and the current generation about, you always need to question things. You cannot accept things hook, line, and sinker and do it. Kasi mapapahamak ka eh. There are a lot of people na napahamak because they just followed the instructions from different people who just really don't have their best interest in your best interest in their mind. It's
Yeah.
about their own vested interest. That is why, especially now malapit na yung election, always think. itong mga politicians natin na napakatagal na, dekada na, years na silang nandyan, they have already political dynasty, and then they're running again. What did they do for the country? They were always repeating what they want to do decades back, and they have been in position and they haven't provided any change. That's why it's very important for Filipinos, for citizens, for anyone, for any human being to practice critical thinking. Otherwise, sabi nga ni I saw this nice quote no by Voltaire. Sabi niya, so long as the people do not care to exercise their freedom, those who wish to tyrannize will do so. So think about
Mm.
our politicians. For
Yeah.
tyrants are active and ardent, and will devote themselves in the name of any number of gods, religious or otherwise, to put shackles upon sleeping men. Napakaganda, di ba, Patrick? It's like a wake-up call. You know, you cannot just allow these people to control your mind or how you act or how you think.
Normally kasi when we think about free thinkers, no, we always think that, you know, they're the reason that the world is broken and they should just
Mm,
conform. I'll give you another example, no. Like I'm a faith driven, so I'm very religious. But
mhm.
in you know, in sometimes in Christianity, we always like have this tendency mean na no, just you know, just believe. You just have to set aside all your doubts and your questions and just believe. Like ako personally, Dex, no, I read books about like other lines of thought. I read books about atheism. I read
Mm.
books about you know, Islam. Because why? Because kasi you have to like look at your belief, and that's the only way, that's the best way for you to
Put
build
it
a
to test.
strong. Yeah, you have to contest it to kind of like poke holes in your belief system and see if it's like true. And it's worked well for me because it's actually strengthened my faith, because I put it against this belief and looks like it stands the test. I put against this belief and it stands the test. Like, but when I tell people that I'm a Christian who reads books on atheism, they're like, that's crazy. Why will you do that? No, you just keep on reading books about Christianity. 'Di ba? I mean, and sometimes even in, kasi normally like when it comes to praying, no, like we think about prayer as you being in solemn connection with God. And you're just talking to God in a certain way. And these are the words you have to say, this is the tone you have to give. It has to be, alam mo yun, pero minsan alam mo, like I don't know no, if you can relate with this. Pero minsan may prayers ako na, Lord, ano ba? Ba't ganyan? Di ba? And I think to an extent again, I'm not saying I'm an expert, you know, at that level, but that's the kind of relationship I want to have with the deity. Na parang the deity doesn't just
Yeah.
like no, just believe this. Like I like to think that even God in himself, that's the reason why he gave us free choice. People always ask like why did
Mm.
God put, you know, the fruit of knowledge of good and evil in the garden? It's because he wants you to think for yourself,
Yeah.
and he wants you to freely choose him or freely choose otherwise. My line of thought is, if in my religious belief, if my God, my deity tells me think for yourself, why do society and institutions and culture say no, you have to believe this, you know, you have to believe that, no, don't believe this, don't believe that? That's
Yeah.
the perfect way cults are made. That's the perfect way, that it's just the perfect way for you to control people, whether it's through a religious cult or through you know, a regime that's very tyrannical in nature. It's just not good for anyone. It's just good
Mhm.
for the leaders, the people who are in charge, but it's at the cost
Yeah.
of, yeah, the people who are following.
We have free will and we have the freedom of choice. We have the freedom to think. Tama ka. Have you thought no in the Bible kasi Patrick, 'di ba sabi ni Jesus, I am the way, the truth and the life. No one goes to God except through me, 'di ba?
Mm-hmm.
He declared that to himself, 'di ba? But what if, have you thought na parang you can also declare that to yourself?
What do you
If
mean?
Jesus has said that to himself, can you also say that I am Dexter, the way, the truth, and the life, and no one goes to God except through me? Because for me, every one of us is a son of God, like children of God. No, we can go directly to God. That the reason why you can pray like that, no, to God, for example, to Jesus. No, parang every time we think about things critically before, na if you accept them as it is, no, there's only one interpretation. But if you think critically, no, you will realize that there are things na parang, oh nga, no, pwede pala yun, no? Pwede pala, I can also be the way, I can also go directly to God, no? I mean, God, you can pray directly to Him without a middleman.
Mhm.
It's just an idea, no? But
Yeah.
going back to to how we are indoctrinated, no, in the media in connection to what we were talking about. Critical thinking is crucial kasi tyrants will control our minds. They are
Mm.
active and ardent, sabi nga ni Voltaire, no, hundreds of years ago. No, they will try to control you because power and wealth is their main motivation. Power kasi is very addictive, which is a poison to our society today. That's why there's a lot of lies going around the media. Power is being exercised by the mainstream media. Kaya nga, 'di ba, if we saw in the news kanina yung pinakita natin na ex bookmark about the Department of Defense, they want to control how people think during the COVID-19 pandemic. And that COVID-19 pandemic control includes yung mga vaccine na ituturok natin sa katawan natin. So they in connection with that, there was a news before the Department of Defense, no, perpetrated that spread propaganda that the Sinovac vaccine is not good and it can actually kill you. That's why you need to go for Pfizer and Moderna, etc., the US vaccines, which it turned out to be not true. And now nakikita natin kasi there was already a widespread and actual social deception na contract with an international news media like Reuters to spread that kind of misinformation. Can you just imagine, Reuters, sabihin mo na pa, uy, Reuters na yan ah. Okay na newspaper yan ah. Okay na publication yan. Okay na media yan ah. Ngayon pala, it's being controlled by the elites. Patrick, in relation to that one, I want to show what citizen media is. So I saw this video. If you see this video about Bureau of Immigration. 'Di ba pinag-uusapan natin before last year about POGOs and the detrimental effect of gambling. There's a certain politician that protects the POGOs. We discovered through citizen journalism. This is from Sastrogan to Sasot. So we were discussing about sa news, diba, about POGO in the Philippines. And then this is the function, this is what I want to show, the function of citizen journalism. Kasi hindi kino-cover ng media ito. No, for example, it was discovered by a certain personality, Sasrogando Sasot. No, that actually ang nagpatakas ng mga Pogo, 600 of them, Taiwanese pa, sa Clark using three aircrafts is the senators. So you'll see here,
Form
maririnig
silang
mo.
pupunta sa
Yeah.
bahay.
Sinabi mo, Joanne, ay sandali muna, no, Yumi. Alam mo, tuwing merong Senate hearing at congressional hearing, nanunumpa muna ito, no? Ikaw ba ay sumusumpa? Itaas mo ganyan. Yumi.
Kailangan ba taas
Yumi.
yung kamay ko ganyan?
Yes, itaas mo ang iyong kanang kamay at sabihin mo, ikaw ba'y sumusumpa sa kabila ng buhay mo at ng iyong mga anak at ng pamilya mo sa harap ng sambayanang Pilipino na ang sasabihin mo ngayon ay pawang katotohanan lamang, walang labis at walang
Papahula sila kay Mami. Pag ayaw na ni Mami,
B.I. Clark International Airport.
yes, siya.
Ay, Facebook para makita
Yes.
natin, no? Kasi kailangan ngayon sa Facebook habang para maipakita natin to, para may
Dito sa Nasa phone ko pero I don't know if ma-retrieve ko sa Facebook ko. Hindi, I'm not so sure. Nandito kasi
Ay, hindi,
sa
ganito na lang. Kung nasa phone
mo.
mo, ipakita mo na lang sa camera. Pakita mo na lang sa camera yung... ito ba phone mo to? Phone mo ba
Yan ang
gamit mo?
gamit ko.
Okay. So, National Airport.
Yes, siya.
Ay, hindi ko siya sinasabing yes or no lang ang sagot, ha? Sinunod ko siya ba? Wala po akong
Siya.
ganon. Yung mga
Siya
senador
yun.
at
Point here is citizen journalism. No, ang pinapakita nila doon, we can just you can check that out later. Is they discovered that the government itself ang nagpatakas ng mga pogo natin. No, 600 Taiwanese 3 aircrafts through the facilitation of a certain Maan Lapid na sinabi doon ng witness, which is the person there, si Yumi Santiago, na anak ni Senator Lito Lapid, and this was known by Senator Hontiveros. Nung nalaman ng senator, makikita nyo dun sa video, na nagpapatakas sila ng 600 pogo operators, he blocked it and did not reveal it during the Senate hearing. So in other words, as citizens, we really need to rely on ourselves. We cannot rely on what the politicians say in our faces, which can really be maybe 90 to 99% outright lies just to promote their self-interest. We really need to research. We really need to become journalists ourselves. Parang yun yung citizen journalism. That is the antidote to mainstream media lies. We need to research on our own. That's why another example, Patrick, later pareact kita dito. There's another example here, dito rin sa X, where a American citizen provided a counter argument on another American who is stating some opinions about the government of President Trump. Do you
Smart,
hear it?
rational people often
Yeah.
seem stupid to stupid people. So let's let them
Narinig mo ba,
continue.
Patrick?
Yeah, I can hear it.
And Doge, this has nothing to do
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
saving money. Do you
Let's listen to
really
this
think
one.
Donald Trump gives a damn about cutting the budget? Donald Trump, when he was president, ran up the biggest deficits in American history. He added more to the national debt on an annual basis than any other president ever.
These individuals are so disingenuous and so intellectually dishonest. Notice in his video, he doesn't tell you why Trump ran up the largest deficit. And he doesn't because it's not convenient to the propaganda he's trying to push. So let's break this down a little bit. During Obama's second term, the deficit increased by about $3.5 trillion. Just keep that number in mind for later. Under Trump, the deficit increased by about $7.8 trillion. So what he's saying technically isn't wrong. He's just leaving out key points to paint a picture that is not the truth. Under Donald Trump, there was a global black swan event, a pandemic. In response to that, our government spent $3.6 trillion on that pandemic alone, under Trump. So that's as much as Obama's second term alone right there. And the spending was bipartisan. Now, 1.9 trillion of that $7.8 trillion deficit he's talking about came from Donald Trump giving Americans tax cuts. So 1.9 trillion of that deficit is from Donald Trump putting dollars back in the American people's pockets instead of having them give it to the government. This is why you shouldn't take people with TDS or EDS seriously. It blocks their ability to be a rational or reasonable person. So the only thing that matters is finding a way to slander Donald Trump or Elon Musk. The truth doesn't matter. Being intellectually honest doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is slandering Donald Trump or Elon Musk. It's crazy because these are grown adults acting like children. Anyway, let's let him continue.
This man doesn't give a damn about saving money. This is about giving Elon Musk all the power that he paid for.
I'm telling you, TDS needs to be studied. At the rate our deficit is increasing, our government and our country is on pace for economic collapse. If we don't change something, the only thing our government will eventually be able to commit money to is servicing debt, meaning no federal employees are getting paid, no SNAP benefits, no food stamps, no Section 8, no Social Security. And that is what Trump and Elon are trying to fix. You can't just have your debt spiral out of control forever and not expect anything to happen. But again, TDS blocks people's ability to be rational or reasonable. That is the reality of why they're doing what they're doing. Do not listen to these fearmongers.
What do you think about
Well,
citizen journalism? That is an example of a citizen providing information and another citizen, providing a counter
yeah,
information.
yeah. It has its own faults, to be sure. I mean, for one, there's no like, okay, so which do I believe? And so sometimes it can slow down the decision-making process. And sometimes that's even good. That's even better. Kasi some decisions, you really need to hear both sides eh. Hindi naman pwede na, okay, ito lang yung narinig ko, and then I was told that this is the truth, so I'll take this. If I had to make minor decisions, like, okay, saan tayo kakain? No problem. Sige, I'll listen to what you have to say. If you like that, then let's go there. But if you're talking about like actual like big decisions, like who's gonna lead the nation and who's going to where's the majority of the budget gonna go, you have to hear all sides. And I think that's really what I like about citizen journalism. It's that you get a chance to hear all angles and make a decision for yourself. The one thing that I would probably take out is that's who you are and that this is who I am. It's very polarizing. If we can take out the polarizing from citizen journalism, we have the perfect formula to make really good decisions that are guided by critical thinking, not just by what narrative is better packaged.
Yes, it goes back to the principle of instead of censoring information, it's to allow information to flow and counteract misinformation or falsehoods by providing accurate information. So, and then the people will decide whether or not they will believe it, you know, or they will act upon the information that they were given, which is not applicable, not present, not existing in mainstream media because they will just the channel is only one way. They
Yeah.
will just say to you the information that they want to give you. 'Di ba?
Mm.
Parang isang direction lang. Dito two directions. No, two directions, may comments, may likes, may reactions. What I mean is reactions and comments, no. So that's the reason why a lot of people now don't listen to CNN or even our local media like ABS-CBN, GMA7, etc. Kasi they mislead a lot of people eh. I will show you another example of what the media is doing na in order to sway the public instead of focusing on national issues. This is I checked on these different kinds of balita. No, just recently, this is February 6th. This is the news of Inquirer. 'Di ba? Parang this is the most important thing that you can give the Filipino people when we have uh, an immoral, illegal budgeting process na nakita natin billions are being siphoned out, billions are actually being plundered by politicians. This is the news that you will give us. And then another one, this kind of news. This was 2023, but we don't care about these things. I mean, this is not national. These are not important issues. This is what our mainstream media is doing right now. Sometimes tama naman yung information nila eh. Pero
Yeah.
it's not relevant to our nation. It's not relevant to Filipinos.
Yeah, but bottom line is that's what people wanted. They want to deflect, di ba? So they just look at the flaws and the problems of celebrity.
Deflection.
Yeah, of the day decks. Majority of people, they don't want the truth. They just want to make it appear like I'm aligned to a truth that's more convenient for me. Yun lang yung hinahabol. And
Mhm.
again, bottom line, I think like the root problem there is because that's how we were brought up eh. If you want things to be convenient, just look for a community that will agree with you all the time. Ayaw natin ng disagreement. We don't want conflict. We don't wanna, draw out what the truth is, what's not true. I might be wrong. You might be wrong. We don't like that. We don't like being wrong because it's just inconvenient for us. So, how do you deal with a society that doesn't want the truth? Well, there are two ways to look at it. The bigger picture, which is not the the part that's the hardest. How do you do that? Well, it really starts from the ground. You really have to, yun nga eh, from a young age, really trying to, teach, the next generation that don't just believe things just because it has a flashy tagline or headline and nice pictures. Make a decision for yourself. On an individual level, I think,
Mm.
because I think like 80-90% of the truths anyway, I mean 80 to 90% of the effects of the truth that we have to deal with every day, you have control over naman eh. We don't have control over who's gonna win the next election, but you have control over, are you gonna align yourself with the policy or are you gonna just find your way through it on your own? Alam mo yon? So like at an
Yeah.
individual level, make decisions on your own, align with leadership if it serves you and your agenda. And if it doesn't, then find your own way. That's the reason why in some way or another, like we don't, tayong dalawa, we can agree with this, that we kind of like carve our own path. We don't rely on the government for funding with our businesses. We don't we pay our taxes, but we don't say, oh, binayad namin yung buwis namin, ganito yung gawin niyo sa pera niyo. We can't do that because we can't march up there and demand that you put money here and there and here and there. Just pay your tax and just try to make more money elsewhere. So that's the only thing you can do. So control what you can, and whatever you can't, you know, going back to the Bible, Jesus said, "Give to Caesar what is Caesar's," and that's it. That's it. I mean, the rest, find your own way.
Well, we are afraid of being disapproved by the public. So we always seek social approval. That's why we conform with a lot of things that are given to us eh. Pag sinabi ng nanay mo, pag ganito dapat ang gawin mo, kahit na alam mo na mali, you will follow. Kasi magagalit sila eh. Magagalit ang pamilya mo sa'yo o yung social group mo who wants you to attend to this party or to vote a certain candidate. If you don't agree with them, they will just ostracize you or they will ridicule or embarrass you. So people are afraid to experience those embarrassments and the feeling of disapproval. That's why it's very important nga, to to teach our kids and ourselves to accept that when you do the right thing, a lot of people may not approve of that one. It may not be comfortable to them to agree with you. So it's okay. That's why if you will look at the example of Elon Musk and Donald Trump in the United States, there are a lot of people that approve with their actions, but there are also a lot of loud people who disparage them, who threaten their lives, literally threaten their lives. The other one, President Donald Trump, was uh, almost assassinated, no, during the campaign. But they still do what they need to do. They still follow their mission. They are nonconformist. They know that they are seeking the truth. That's why they are pushing for it. That is a good example for a lot of Filipinos to emulate also. No, kasi we cannot please a lot of people. No. If they say, sabi ng media or sabi ng ABS-CBN ganito eh. Dapat ba yun yung kailangan natin paniwalaan? most probably nakita natin kanina during the start of our podcast that the government funds news media to spread lies. Ang sabi nga sa description ng kontrata ng Department of Defense of the United States, paying Reuters $9 million to spread social deception. Nasa description po ng contract yun. Can you just imagine? You need to deceive the society. Here's the 9 million pesos. If Reuters can do that to us, what more can local media companies do?
Yeah.
So, in other words, we will go back, Patrick, na we cannot just trust institutional mainstream media. We need to rely on ourselves, thinking critically, doing research, and become journalists ourselves.
Mhm.
Citizens journalism is the key.
Yeah. After this, Dex, I'm still gonna watch the news.
Yeah, of course. You
We're
still
not.
need to,
You have
just
to.
to,
Yeah.
syempre, you still need to watch the news to have a different view. I'm not
Correct.
saying na parang don't watch the news, but more of think about it. Tama ba to? Or is this just a deflection of the current important
Yeah.
national issue?
Yeah. Yeah,
Diba?
because you can look at news or data or information and come up with your own conclusion. I mean, going back, yun nga like write your own essay. How do you translate this in a way that you can fit into the way you see the world? Now, I'm not saying, of course, again, that you're always going to be right and that, okay, that's your truth. This is my truth kind of thing. Because again, for me, that's still a deflection. That's still a way for you to just say, well, let's just agree to disagree. There are some things that we can agree to disagree, but there are some things that we need to wrestle out together. Pero in some way or another, I think bottom line is when you're looking at if you're looking at a certain event or a certain decision that has to be made, you just have to be willing to get into a wrestling match with people who don't agree with you. Because that's the only way that you can come up with the best solution or the best argument or the best decision. I mean, we do that all the time with now we see that happen with really good organizations, really good teams, like basketball. Hindi na, like you have a star going with another star. If they both wanna be stars, then we've seen that many times in NBA. The team's gonna fall apart. But when they wrestle with one another, find a way to build chemistry, alam mo yon, parang they have healthy conflicts, they win championships. Ganon din dapat tayo as a society. That we go with other people who are also stars of their own train of thought. And okay, sige, let's come together, let's come up with a really good solution for this. That could be with matters as big as national security, or that could even be in smaller matters like as a family, where are we gonna buy a house? Kayong dalawang mag-asawa, pag-usapan nyo, are we gonna live in the city? Are we gonna live in the province? Those kinds of things, if we don't deflect, if we wrestle it out together, we're gonna come up with decisions that sometimes we might have to agree to disagree in some small minor areas, but in the major things, we're aligned. Pareho tayo ng mission, pareho tayo ng hinahabol dito. And so from there, we can come up with, okay, let's come up with a game plan that we can run together.
Final thoughts about what's happening in the country right now with the mainstream media and
I think
about citizen journalism?
Yeah, yung takeaway ko, personally, like what can I do on a personal level, and like what should we do also individually at a personal level? Go ahead and watch the news, but don't take it at its face value. Don't stop with the headline. Diba? Normally kasi we just read the headline and then that's the news. No, go into the details. Break down the specifics. And then another thing you can do, kasi alam naman natin there are news channels that are more on this side, and then the news channels are more on that side, they're opposite spectrum. What you can do is you can watch both, or you can listen to or read both, like news, like cut, news clippings from both, and then just weigh one against the other. Alam mo, I forgot, merong mga tools na ganun ngayon eh. Like, there are actual software that can collate the news and tell you, okay, this news is more on the far right, this news is more on the far left. So, you can kind of balance it together. Ito yung bullet points ng far right, ito yung bullet points ng far left, and then come up with your own conclusion. What I would really encourage people to do is, if you are red or blue, kung red ka, sana merong konting blue din sa paniniwala mo. Kung blue ka, ganun din, sana may konting paniniwala na nasa red din. Bottom line is, let's face it, there is no perfect school of thought. You can always learn from the other side. And so I think we need to really come up with a society where that's allowed, even that's encouraged. Where I can go to the person and say, where we have two completely different beliefs, but I really admire your stand here and your belief system there. I want to emulate that. I actually want to learn from that. And if we have that kind of society, nako, I think
Yep.
we'll just be better off.
For me, we become our own journalists, no? We need to do our own research. Tama ka. We just don't stop with reading the headlines. We need to delve in deeper, no, and research on our own with all the tools that we have. Yung sinasabi mo na already have artificial intelligence, we have search engines. I think you're saying about perplexity.ai, where they collate different information and then decide for yourself, no? And again, you use social media to be able to see the different points of view of different people. So para you can decide on a certain aspect or issue in your life. Another thing is the most important thing na pinag-usapan natin is critical thinking. We always need to question things. Tama ba to, or is this just a deflection, a misinformation or disinformation? We always need to ask questions and also look at our bias. Sometimes we just align to a certain political party or a belief that it blurs us to what is really the truth. No, we always need to
Yeah.
practice and look in the mirror, check, bias ba ako? Kailangan ko yata mag-research pa, 'di ba? Just like what I discussed about fasting kanina. No, doctors won't prescribe fasting even if it's the best medicine against diabetes. They will tell you, hindi, mag-metformin ka, mag-maintenance medicine ka para bumaba ang sugar mo. Hindi, actually, the best medicine is fasting, not eating often para hindi umaakyat yung insulin mo. The reason why they don't provide that, number one, they might not know it. Number two, they might be maybe obese themselves, they don't practice fasting, and they believe na hindi kaya ng isang tao na hindi kumain ng lunch or breakfast. No, they just don't believe that people can do that. So, in the end, kung ano man yung sabihin natin, especially the experts, we always need to verify. Sabi nga nila, trust and verify. That is what we need to do so that we won't be misled. We won't be led to a dangerous path in conducting our lives.